Hello. Let us discuss the good practices for requirement engineering from validation point of view. Now, validation ensures that the requirements are correct and they demonstrate the desired quality characteristics and they also satisfy the customer needs. Now, the requirements that seems fine when you read them might turn out to have some ambiguities and might have some gaps when developers try to work with them. So you must correct these problems if the requirements are to serve as a reliable foundation for the design and for final system testing and the user acceptance testing. So the first good practice is to review the requirements. Peer review of requirements, particularly the type of rigorous review, which is called as inspection, is one of the highest value software quality practices which are available. So we can assemble a small team of reviewers who represent maybe different perspectives. So when I say different perspective, that means such as analysts, customers, developers, testers, and then carefully examine the written requirements, do the analysis of different models and related information for the defects. Informal preliminary reviews during the requirements development are also valuable. It is important to train the team members in how to perform effective requirements review and to adopt a review process for your organization. The next good practice is to test the requirements. Tests constitute an alternative view of the requirements. Writing tests requires you to think about how to tell if the expected functionality was correctly implemented. So derive the tests from the user requirements to document the expected behavior of the product under the specified condition. Walk through the tests with customers to ensure that they reflect user expectations. You can also map the tests to the functional requirements to make sure that no requirements have been overlooked and that all have the corresponding tests. Use the tests to verify the correctness of analysis models and prototypes. In case of agile projects, they often create acceptance tests of detailed functional requirements. The next good practice is to define the acceptance criteria. So you can ask users to describe how they will determine whether the solution meets their needs and is a good fit for the use. So acceptance criteria include a combination of software which can be a defined set of acceptance tests based on the user requirements, demonstrating the satisfaction of specific non-functional requirements, and tracking open defects and issues, having infrastructure and training in place for successful rollout, and something more about this. The next good practice is to simulate the requirements. So commercial tools are available that allow a project team to simulate a proposed system, either it is in place or not. So to check that, we have different commercial tools which are available in the market. So simulation takes prototyping to the next level by letting the business analysts to work with users to rapidly build executable mock-ups of the system. Now users can interact with the simulated system to validate the requirements and make the design choices, making the requirements come to life before they are casted or before they are framed into the concrete of the code. Now simulation is not a substitute for thoughtful requirement elicitation and analysis, but it does provide a powerful supplement. So these are the few of the good practices from the validation point of view.